lot can happen in a week. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a rotating panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Houston Chronicle editor of opinion, Lisa Falkenberg, Marcus Davis, who owns the Breakfast Club restaurant, and Jessica Brown, co-director of Station Theater. Lisa, Jessica, Marcus, welcome to Houston Matters.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Panel, as we heard earlier in the hour, CenterPoint Energy this week admitted some remaining outages caused during last Thursday's windstorm and tornadoes will likely extend into this weekend. At its peak, some 922,000 customers lost electricity during the storms. Nearly all of those outages have been restored as CenterPoint deployed some 7,000 people to repair lines, poles, transmission towers, and other damaged infrastructure over the last week. But the final 1,000 still without power face an increasingly hot holiday weekend. CenterPoint's restored power to most, but not all Houstonians after last week's storms. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Lisa Falkenberg.
Only a person with lights and AC would ask that question. Right. And it's late this week, and I ain't one of them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, I do always try to look on the bright side, or I always try to understand what I have, as opposed to some people. We're not struggling. We haven't struggled as much this week. Been able to go to a hotel. And I do think about, we had a writer go out the day before yesterday with some of the linemen and interview some of the linemen who came all the way from Kentucky, leaving their families to come here and help. And they're working 16-hour shifts. And I know, every time I want to get frustrated, I'm thinking these people are working their butts off to get people back plugged in. But it's just so frustrating to look across the street and your neighbors have their lights and Netflix going and whatever else, and we're just sitting there in this super hot house where nothing is, and there's no air. And we had our AC out last summer, and at least we had fans. But this is brutal. And I do think that the storm itself is probably, a good reminder that this area it's not a good anything, but it is a reminder that this climate is changing. And we Houstonians who think we've been through some stuff because we know how to prepare for hurricane season. We know what the months to look out and have our batteries replenished and all of this. But now we've got this tornado thing to think about. And tornado season, I think, is, what is that, May here? Anyway, this is maybe a new normal. I mean, these are storms of increasing intensity as the climate changes. And so we've all got to learn now to deal with this thing.
Yeah, I learned a new word in the last week. I'd never heard derecho before.
Now here's the big controversy, Craig. Yeah. How do you say it? So those of us who speak some semblance of Spanish, every time somebody says derecho, and then derecho, as I would say it in Spanish, and then somebody says, okay, how do you say San Jacinto? I'm like, San Jack. Uh-huh. I say, if you're going to mispronounce it, go all the way. San Jack.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or ugly, Jessica Brown?
I mean, obviously, folks still being without power, that's ugly. But the fact that we have so many folks here trying to help and spending so much of their time being away from their families and the folks, I'm not going to discount the folks that are here in Houston either, that are spending all of their time really working hard to try to get power back up and running. But it's also unusually hot right now, which is another layer of challenges. I wouldn't want to be the folks that are trying to repair everything right now, because that's rough. But they're also, I have a friend who technically has her power back on, but one of her neighbor's trees fell on one single wire, so she only has partial power. And anytime she tries to run something in her kitchen or try to do laundry or something, everything shuts off. And so technically in any other time that would be considered an emergency. But of course, that's been pushed way down. And, hopefully there's no issues because, don't mess with electricity. That stuff is scary if you don't know what you're doing. But, I'm absolutely grateful for all of the folks that have come to help, all of the folks that are spending all of their time to help. And, that part's great. But the folks still being without power, that's definitely bad. And some of that damage, that was ugly. It's even a block down from us, but there was some damage whenever I was teaching an improv class earlier this week. Last week. That was Thursday. But yeah, it's all starting to run together at this point. There's so many things happening. But we were honestly incredibly lucky with both the theater and my home as well. So I'm grateful for that and have been trying to, offer different things for, folks to come charge, come use our air conditioner, come do things like that. And I've seen a lot of other businesses that are trying to do things like that too, which I think that's been really nice with people kind of opening their doors in support. I know that there's some restaurants in the First Ward that have also opened up and said, hey, we're going to feed you, come in. So that kind of support I think has been really amazing.
So, derecho?
Derecho. But I don't know. Now it's become part of the vernacular. I think we just got to say derecho because however the meteorologists are saying it, I guess is how we have to say it.
Rhymes with Laredo, right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Good, bad, or ugly. Marcus Davis.
Yes, I agree. Obviously, this is not a pretty sight where, people's lives are devastated, disrupted, and so on and so forth. Yes, we are grateful for those that come in and help to restore electricity to those that do not have it. We're one of the fortunate ones. Sorry, Lisa, that you're still without lights. But it's one of those crazy things that where at home we lost no lights, and at each of the restaurants, no problems. We had a few trees fall over, fell in the opposite direction, didn't fall on the building. The downtown,
glad to hear it.
Right, downtown, as much as downtown was destroyed, our downtown restaurant, no harm, no damage.
Thank goodness.
So it's just one of those things where my neighbors 2 streets over, my business neighbors 2 streets over, the entire street is out for 6, 8, 10 blocks.
Wow.
And they go a weekend or 2 without being able to find a way to feed their family. So I during these times I like to point out how incredibly important it is to support small businesses, because there are a number of statistics that talk about the number of small businesses that do not recover from these types of disasters, and then the ones that do recover within 24 months, they subsequently close. And the reason that's so important, yes, because I'm in business, but it's also because this is how these business folks feed their family, and it's also places where the community is employed. Mm-hmm. So shout out to the small business owners out there that are enduring this time. I will have to say, as ugly as this is, I do have to say it gives us an opportunity to reflect and it opens the opportunity for us to explore how grateful we should be that we do have this luxury of electricity, because there are people that live in our world that don't.
Yes.
That don't have the convenience of being able to plug everything in anytime, all the time, being able to live in conditioned air. And I know there are people that are suffering right now, but I think this is an invitation for us to be grateful for the things that we do have that I think sometimes we take for granted, including myself.
Absolutely.
Sorry if I put a bomb on it.
No, I agree. And my children are tired of hearing that. I'm like, you kids need to struggle a little. This is good for you. You don't know what it's like to sweat.
No, I will tell you, when I was a kid, and I was telling my mothers, when I was a kid and something like this happened, I was excited. I mean,
me too.
I have no idea why, but we loved. Oh, it's so fun because you go outside, you play. There's nothing else to do but to go outside and play.
Yeah.
But nonetheless.
Panel from a derecho to a derrick, specifically the luxury boutique Hotel Derrick, which is closing. The Uptown Houston Hotel in Westheimer near River Oaks and the Galleria made the news known Monday. It will close its doors for good on June 24th. The hotel has been bought and sold a few times over the 20 years it's been in operation. It gained notoriety thanks in part to Canadian rapper Drake singing about it in his song Company. It's reportedly Drake's favorite place to stay when he's in town, or at least it was. The Hotel Derrick's shutting down. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Jessica?
I mean, I think that it's always sad whenever you see any sort of tourism institution that's been around for a while that's struggling, and it can be for any number of reasons. But, I think that I remember the opening of the Hotel Derrick. It happened, right as I moved back to Houston in, I guess, 2004, if I can do math. I don't know if I can. But I remember going and touring and thinking that it was absolutely one of the most beautiful places that I'd ever seen. And, like those type of properties are hard to keep up, and unless you have the ability to keep investing in it, and then it may, lose some of its shine. But, it's kind of neat that it has the, I don't know if it's history or the, I don't know what the word is, but the excitement around having Drake connected to it. But honestly, I mean, if it's his favorite place, he should buy it. I mean, let's just have Drake invest in Houston's tourism economy. Why not?
You only have to change a few of the letters.
Right.
Call it the Drake
Exactly.
Hotel. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think that may be taken though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that may be a brand that won't work. But, you can find something else. Hotel Aubrey. Who knows?
The Jimmy Brooks Inn. How about that? The Degrassi.
The Degrassi Hotel. That would probably be a very different hotel. But everyone would be very nice.
Everybody that stays there, they enter and exit the hotel in slow motion while 90s music plays in the background. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or ugly, Marcus.
This is, again, going to the business side. Of course, it's unfortunate when a business has to shut its doors. And, I don't know the ins and outs behind it, but it's unfortunate that this is happening. Fortunately, well, I can't say fortunately. I wonder if this is God's plan. That's a Drake joke.
I thought things were taking a turn, but that's fine. A few lyrics are good.
No, it's a Drake song. I don't know many Drake songs, but nonetheless, I do agree with you that maybe Drake should become Hotel Derrick by Drake.
I like that. There we go. That takes care of it.
Yeah, Drake, I'm not going to charge you
Say
much
it 5 times.
for that. But I'm hopeful that someone will come in and replace and restore and put something great there, because that's a great corner, and it's a part of Houston's fabric in the Galleria area.
The Breakfast Club Hotel.
So Drake, call your boy. Maybe we can maybe we can work this out. But yeah,
y'all need to expand, Marcus. Every time I drive by, there's a damn line around the street. Give those people more space.
I'm running 2 restaurants at one time. There are 2 full restaurants on. I'm talking about TBA. So it's not always a line. I just got to get that out there. When I got to the restaurant this morning at 7:00, there was no line. At 8:00, there was no line. At 9:00, there was no line. Yes, at 11:00, when everybody started to come and see. Yeah,
and
then,
on Saturday mornings, it's going to be busier.
But we use the word every, and that's not happening on Tuesday morning.
We just got to wake up a little bit earlier.
Or when regular people wake up.
I'm not a regular person, sadly.
And then when that happens, when people start to show up in those times, then we'll have the revenue to go and buy Hotel Derrick and, yes, put the Breakfast Club inside of Hotel Derrick.
I mean, that would be some of the best food at any hotel anywhere. So
maybe I should contact Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh.
Boy,
this may be a Kendrick Lamar doing. Who knows?
That would definitely be a next level move, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Like, whose turn is it? Do we know whose turn it is right now in the
Lamar?
I'm sure that already
that
exists
actually works
for Texas.
In Texas, yeah. Hotel Kendrick.
The Kendrick.
Oh,
The
that's
Kendrick.
a great name.
Kendrick, holla at your boy.
You can keep the K.
I like that.
The Breakfast
All right,
Club
let's,
at the Kendrick.
let's let Lisa get in on this. Good, bad, or ugly, Lisa.
I got nothing. Compared to these two, I've never been there. I guess I missed my opportunity, right?
Well,
Or
it's
they-
open for another few weeks.
Okay, maybe I'll try. But for years, I've been telling my brother-in-law his name is Derek and it's spelled the same way. He needs to come. So maybe I'll put in a call and we'll just
If
do a quick
if
visit.
your power's still out by the end of the weekend, maybe the Hotel Derek is the next stop.
Hey, yeah, we're looking for a place.
Sure.
Lisa Falkenberg is the editor of opinion at the Houston Chronicle. Jessica Brown is co-director of Station Theater. Marcus Davis owns the Breakfast Club restaurant and soon the Kendrick Hotel.
The Kendrick.
The Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Lisa, Jessica, Marcus,
Love
thanks
it.
very much.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Craig.
Craig.